welcome to the brand new series of CXO Chronicles presented by Express Computer, where we bring you powerful conversations with the visionaries driving change, innovation, and digital transformation across industries. I am your host, Salvi, and in this special episode, we are kicking things off with a deep dive into the future of mobility and smart engineering. Joining us today is Sven Patuschka, the Chief Technology Officer for Tata Motors, with a distinguished career that includes leadership roles at Volkswagen, Audi, and now at Tata Motors. Sven has been at the forefront of engineering excellence and innovation across the continents. In today's conversation, we will explore his journey through the evolving landscape of automotive technology, from traditional powertrains to connected electric and software defined vehicles. We will also dive into how global best practices are being tailored to address the unique challenges and opportunities in diverse markets like India. So let's get started. Sven, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sabi. Nice to meet you.
Great. So, Sven, you have a fantastic journey from working from global automotive giants like Audi, and now steering technologies at Tata Motors. Could you walk us through your career? What inspired your move into the Indian automotive ecosystem?
Wow, that's a big one. Thanks for that. So, yeah, how to start? Difficult. I think back around the turn of the century, I started to work as a young engineer, and by that time, very small department, electronics in Volkswagen in Germany. And by that time, when I say it's a small department, it was very much hardware driven, the entire automotive industry. And so the E&E part, electronics and software was rather small, rather new, rather something in the automotive context, a new kid on the block. And what always fascinated me was the technological progress. And by that time, we were not really to envision that what role an E&E software and everything would play in automotive context in the future. So I started my career there and went through some departments and some roles. And finally, back in 2000, I got the opportunity to get a taste of a completely new culture. It was a time when I first moved to China. And what started as one small step in my career became at the end that I spent more than 13 years in China in different cities, as well as also in different companies, mainly Volkswagen, but also Hyundai later. And in that time, I think it was very interesting to see how China rose, how China grew, how companies that no one knew back then um, were created, and how to say, until today, if you look at the automotive industry, a lot of these companies like NIO or Xiaopeng, they are there to stay, and the technology they delivered in that time was really fantastic. So in relatively short time, from 2000 to today, the technological progress in China was really fascinating. So if at one point in time in my career, it was, I think, 2.5 years, 3 years back, when my daughter graduated from school. So there was a decision to take whether we continue to stay in China or we move ahead. And yeah, by that time, coincidence, I received a call from India, and someone asked me whether I could, how to say, see myself working for an Indian company. For me, India is a completely new culture. So I said, okay, why not? I dug into it, realized it is Tata Motors, looked at Tata Motors, saw what they achieved in the last couple of years only, how to say, up to the products we have today. Really fascinating growth story, electrification story for Tata Motors, fantastic. So it was an easy one for me to say, okay, let's give it a try. So Now I'm here in India since 2.5 years, and frankly speaking, still learning every single day. So that's maybe in a nutshell how I came to
Right.
India and how I became part of the India automotive ecosystem.
Right. So you have, led diverse teams across geographies. So how would you describe your approach to technology leadership, and what key principles guides your thinking, especially when balancing the engineering excellence with the business demand?
I think the key principle for me is that technology not only exists because of technology, but has to serve customer needs at the end of the day. So customer first, what does the customer, what does the user expect from our products? I think this is the overarching headline. And based on that, what follows next is just an evolution. Of course, whatever we do in technology, in technological development, has to be aligned to those goals, what are given to us by customers as well as by business. Yeah, and then just start working and trying to be pragmatic, focusing on customer-facing features and experiences, creating them, using the technology that is needed to create these experiences. I think that's how to set up the technological roadmap behind what do I need in order to deliver what the customer wants. And how to do that, of course, we work together with a lot of suppliers, but I think the most important part is really the people that we are working with in Tata Motors. So have brilliant talents that we have here in Tata Motors, and really bring them together with what happens outside of India, bring them together with other suppliers, also bring them together across functional teams so that they always, how to say, have the customer in focus and serve the customer in whatever they do. And one important part is also that each and every engineer for sure has to understand the context he or she is working in and understand what his or her impact is on his or her daily work in order to achieve what customer. And this,
Right.
of course, paired with very transparent communication and, of course, learning. Yeah, it's not like that everything is there from day one in all those teams. You have to sort of foster some sort of culture of experimentation, give the people chance to try out something, fail fast, of course, in order then to be able to learn and then to implement in the technologies we bring forward.
Right. So, with Tata Motors growing globally, it has a global footprint, and the emphasis on the locally relevant innovations. So, how do you see your role as bringing that best of the European engineering into the Indian and emerging markets?
Well, now having spent some time in India, I must say that India has all the ingredients that are needed to deliver fantastic products. I think on the one hand, we have a very good supply chain, which gives access to technologies from all over the world. I touched upon the talent. I think there's a huge talent pool with some very bright and young talent available here in India. Of course, the Indian pragmatism and willingness to learn is something that stands out here in India, as well as a very tech-focused ecosystem where new technologies are being adopted quickly. Just some example like UPI or 5G, mobile phones, like more or less skipping landlines, sort of thing. So a very tech-focused ecosystem. And on top of that, so to speak, the cherry on the cake, a very young and very tech-savvy customer base. I think all these are ingredients to deliver fantastic products. So my role here as working in Tata Motors is mainly about how to orchestrate these elements in a way that it serves our customers. Of course, to create hunger for innovation with our people. And last but not least, give some certain, I would call it German engineering guidance, if you put it that way, in order to, how to say, on the one hand to be pragmatic, but on the other hand also always be focused on the result that we want to deliver, the technology we want to deliver a customer experience for our customers. And another element of my role here is also, as I lived in the Chinese ecosystem for quite some time, and if you go to China today, then you might already feel what will happen in the rest of the world in the future, and in India maybe even faster than somewhere else in Europe or the US. So therefore, one of the mantras I'm always trying to bring to our people is, if you look for inspiration, try to look east in order to figure out what will happen in future here in India.
Right. So, Sven, digital transformation means different things to different industries. From your experience, what are the core elements that any organization should focus on the successfully navigating this journey?
I think two elements. One is if we look at the development process itself. I think the new digital technology offers tremendous possibilities, things that we were not thinking that they ever would be available to us yesterday are there today. So efficiency tools, productivity tools, how to utilize new technologies, how to utilize Gen AI, for example, to automate repetitive tasks. In a development process, our engineers, our bright young talent, sometimes is very much, locked into creating PowerPoint charts and spending a lot of manual work on topics that easily can be automated without taking away the job. So I think this is something which is for me important, that we use the tools that digital technologies offer us in a way that ease our life as developers, as engineers, and help us to spend more time on the creative part of what is in our brain, how to bring it out. I think that's one element when we talk about processes. The other topic is, of course, we at Tata Motors try to create user experiences, try to transform our vehicles into connected and smart companions for our customers, for our users. So how can these digital tools help us to become better in that sense? So the car today as your personal space, where the driver or the co-driver is the master. How can digital technologies help to enable personalized entertainment, for example, with content created for you? If you're a a karaoke fan, that you have your karaoke apps available. Health and well-being playing a key role. In our products, we have the chance to give our customers some sort of a private space. So this private space in a hustling and bustling environment is something that can also be used. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel clean using our products. So there are solutions enabled by digital that can be put into that context. And of course, to extend our living and working and enjoying a vehicle space, also by connecting services that go out to shopping, mobility, gaming, payment, etc. And finally, I think the digital tools help us also to then become an intelligent and capable digital assistant that really helps you to navigate through your mobility journey when sitting in one of our vehicles of Tata Motors.
Right. So, the automotive sector has seen a rapid change, especially with the electrification and software integration. How is Tata Motors balancing innovation with the rise of connected and software driven vehicles?
I think, as I mentioned before, for us, the heartbeat or the main understanding, the key topic of Tata Motors is to put the user, the customer in the center of whatever we do. And as we as Tata Motors do this, there were many even industry first offerings that we were able to create. Is it hardware or software? Just picking one topic, we were the pioneers of EVs in India, for example, or recently, about 2 years back, when we launched our OMG CNG, our technology, a twin cylinder technology for CNG, for gas vehicles that unlock a boot space for our customers. I think we all know when we drive CNG vehicles today, always there's no space for your luggage in the boot. But with the concept of twin cylinders that Tata Motors developed, suddenly the boot was made available. And this was also one of the, let's say, wow elements and India-specific innovations that we were able to bring to the market. And then, of course, it's all about experiences. It's not really only about technology or features. So we try to focus on experiences and then use the technology to deliver these experiences. And this is how we balance where to put focus on innovations and to balance our priorities. That's the way how we tackle it. And if we talk about software integration or software-defined vehicles, I think with EVs becoming mainstream slowly, also there, the full potential of software-defined vehicles really can be deployed, offering again experiences for our customers that help them to have a better life while using our products.
Right. So, you have spoken about a bit of, how data analytics and, how you're connecting the customers. Can you also share a specific example and how data analytics has driven the influenced design decisions or features developed in the Tata Motors vehicles?
I think first and foremost, the data that we are able to achieve in our connected vehicle fleet really helps us to understand the user, understand the customers better. And with that knowledge, I think we are able to tailor specific solutions and experiences that cater for the needs of this specific customer. And for example, if we look at autonomous driving ADAS systems, we really need those billions of kilometers of data that we already acquired in the last couple of years to help us to fine-tune our offerings around the ADAS capability, for example. So first element, when you adopt a new technology like autonomous driving, autonomous driving into your vehicle, it might be felt as very intrusive or irritant to a customer, but with the know-how of data that we acquired, the calibration of these systems are now that much optimized for the Indian specific conditions. Is it the poor road surfaces or even the unpredictable driving behavior that finally, once you use our ADAS system in our vehicles, it feels more like a companion than something that stops you from doing a good driving job. And some of these features, some of these experiences you can now experience in our recently launched product, Harrier.ev. I think tomorrow the booking will open. So I can only recommend go to our listeners, go to dealerships, take a try, and you'll see that the autonomous driving, autonomous parking features in those cars, they are really tuned to perfection. Another topic, another example might be to look at, we offer a lot of features traditionally in our vehicles, but what does the customer, what does the user really use? And with data, with the knowledge of data, we know exactly what is being used when, meaning whatever is not being used, we can forget about, and what is used, how to optimize that customer experience around that specific feature. I think that's the power of data, that's the power of data analytics, and that's the power of connectivity.
Right. So, in what ways does the data enables the personalized experience for drivers, and how do you see this evolving with the future vehicle generation?
Um, I think if we take EVs as an example, the data that we get through the battery system really helps us in giving driving recommendations for our customers, not only for battery better how to say improved battery life, but also how to be more conscious about consumption of energy. And in the past, I think whenever you enter a new car, the preferences you had to set on your own memory seating, driving posture, and the modes, whether you like to listen to this radio station or have this and that light. This is something what we all know, but in future, with getting to know our customers more, utilizing Gen AI algorithms, for example, um, then we move more towards the companion, the car as a companion, suggesting you um, to is it route recommendation, is it entertainment, safety related topics, shopping, where the technology is then enabling a much better customer experience at the end of the day.
So, as Tata Motors continues to innovate, how do you see the integration of software, hardware evolving to meet the changing customer expectations, especially in the emerging markets?
One topic when we talk about software and hardware, and one base element is that the hardware development cycles are rather long than short, and while software can be updated pretty quickly, we all know it from our daily digital life with mobile phones. I think the first and foremost job for all of us is to decouple software from hardware, which in our context is the let's call it the tech stack of software-defined vehicles that we are working on. Once we have that, hardware more or less stays stable, and software plays a role in keeping your product fresh. And as we see the digital life in India, and the adoption to the digital life in India is quite different to Western market. Very, yeah, almost similar to China. Um, um, then this next gen software defined vehicle really offers us the opportunity to enable new features by software independent of the underlying hardware. And the software first approach then really offers us flexibility to how to say the unknown future requirements, to react to the unknown future requirements of our customers. And with India's huge pool of born digital population, I think also there will be some, this is a good test bed also for innovation. So with software-defined vehicles, we can also try out something with specific customers who are very tech savvy. We identify them, we have a direct communication with them. Would you mind trying out this new feature? We have optimized this feature in the vehicle. And with quick interaction with customer and us as Tata Motors, optimizing these kind of experiences, I think their software plays a key role. And from that perspective, this decoupling of software and hardware opens up an opportunity to really quickly react on changing customer expectations here in India, as well as, of course, outside of India.
Right. So, one last question, as someone you who has worked across global automotive hubs and now leads innovation for the Tata Motors, what excites you the most about the future of technology in this space, and what kind of impacts do you hope to leave throughout the experience?
Well, what excites me, I think, first of all, like with what I started this podcast. It's the pace of innovation and the pace of transformation. It's really mind blowing fast. And having spent the last 20 years more or less in the East Asian ecosystem, where innovation is really very quick, very rapid, and technological advancements are also very fast. This is really something that still excites me today. Not to know what's tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, but sure, there will be technological advancement that will help us solve questions we do not yet know to ask. And especially the AI, Gen AI topic is something which is progressing so fast, and therefore the excitement on how to apply this technology not only into our processes but also into our products is something that is how to say, pretty exciting for me. Also, what is interesting to see and what keeps me awake in the night is how we are no longer talking about a car or a mobile phone. It's like the lines are blurring between home and car, and so also for us as Tata Motors, we are not only selling vehicles, we are selling experiences, and finally we are selling mobility. We are offering mobility to our customers. And with the advantage that we have as a car manufacturer to offer private space in a very bustling and chaotic environment, I think this is something that how to play with that asset that we have in a way that really our customers feel happy in our vehicles, that we help them solve problems, and finally help our customers to gain the most precious thing in life, which is time. Yeah, not to waste your time on learning how the car works. Just have that time available to whatever he or she wants to do. And I think this is something that keeps me up and running. And if you ask about what kind of impact I hope to leave through my work, I think finally it's all about our customers, and I would be more than happy if one day our customers will say, yes, Tata Motor products truly are connected and smart companions and offer a really enriched customer journey. I think that would be, again, the cherry on the cake.
Thank you so much, Sven, for sharing your insights and experience with us. It's been fantastic to hear about your journey across global automotive landscapes and how you are shaping the future of technology and innovation at Tata Motors. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning into this episode of CXO Chronicles. Stay with us as we continue to bring you conversations with the minds driving the digital transformation across the industries. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the future.